When I kept asking, when is somebody going to do something about all these adoptable children in the foster care system? Seriously, come on. We have like billions of dollars being poured into this. The government's involved, all these people. Like when? Oh, wait, it was me. I just know the what. And I know. With 2.1 million families looking to adopt, there's more than 350,000 congregations in this country. If each church found one family to adopt one child, we could get this done in my lifetime. So if you're interested, let me know and I can show you all the ways that you can be a part of the solution. Because again, no child ever needs to experience Black Trash Bag Day ever.
You're listening to Rise from the Ashes podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 2, Rise from the Ashes, Burnout to Brilliance. These are strategies for leadership and overcoming adversity in people's lives. My current guest, Catherine Bell, has shared her tragic loss of her husband, but also her resilience and passion for non-profits, hedge funds, and inspiring other people through her own journeys in life. Burnout isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign and a call to rise. Join a movement today, join courageous leaders such as Catherine, transforming lives and changing them. So subscribe, you're not alone, and welcome to the family. Catherine, welcome back. How are you feeling? You're still good? You're still good?
So happy to be here with you. I love these conversations.
It's a privilege, and I mean that with the deepest respect. It's a privilege and an honor to have you here. I wanted to touch on tactical strategies. What are the 3 game-changing strategies that you had as a leader or CEO in your companies, but you had to implement? Bear in mind, you run hedge funds, you've got communities, you're at the head of your game in your industries, because you have several. What are the main strategic leadership challenges that you have, and how do you employ them to help you and others around you?
So the first one is this right here. What's going on in between my ears is the number one thing I have to deal with every day. Constantly managing that and developing it and making sure that I have accurate thinking. So having people that I can trust to be able to have those very raw, real conversations and kick my ass to make sure I am having accurate thinking. That's what it comes down to. That's like number one. And, with that comes an enormous amount of reading and education. And, again, whoever I can be mentored by. And it doesn't necessarily mean mentored like one-on-one, face-to-face. Like in my mind, all of these books that I've read, all these brilliant authors, they've all been a part of mentoring me and who I've become as a woman. Right. So that I'm deeply grateful for. So that is number 2. It's like the mentors and the people that we surround ourselves by. Like we become like the 5 people we spend the most time with. And again, it's the physical, but it's also like, what are we putting into our minds? What are we watching on TV? What are we listening to? Like, what is it that we're consuming? Because those voices will impact us. So I'm extremely mindful about who I allow to impact me, my mind, my body, my spirit, my heart, like all of it. That's like number 2. And then 3, it's one of my favorite books. It's Who Not How by Dan Sullivan. That when I stopped being arrogant and asking the question, how do I do this? And I started being more mindful and asking, wait a second, who already knows how to do this that I can just ask them and somehow collaborate so that we can create this together. That's when everything shifted. I had to like that, whatever that ego part is that I had to know all the hows, that's ridiculous. There's no way in the world. I mean, I'm pretty smart, but there's no way in the world I'm going to know how to do everything. But I know a lot of people who know how to do all the things. And so that leads to the other piece, which is all about community and making sure that, again, leave every person, property, and community better than I found them. And having people understand that your reputation precedes you, whether you like it or not. And you never know a conversation or an interaction or a relationship that you had 20 years ago, how it literally could come full circle and either help you or hinder you based on how you left that person. So I challenge everybody, what if every single person you interacted with, from the person at Starbucks or the person at the grocery store, or the person in the boardroom, or like anybody, what if you actually left every single person better than you found them? What if you did that? Then what would this world look like? Because again, more times than I can count, I know people who walk into rooms and because they've been so horrible to other people, the doors are immediately shut.
Yeah.
And then I can walk into the same room and doors are completely opened. Not because of my experience, not because of my resume, anything like that, but it literally has been because of how I've left those people in the past.
100%. It's the way you make people feel that people remember. Not what you did. It doesn't matter what actions you did or anything else. It's the way you make them feel they will always remember. Learning off other people is often a pathway to uber success. But uber success takes a minimum of about 15 years in the making. Anybody you see that successful has been on the grind for about 15 years, probably more. So the Gary V's, Grant Cardone's, etc., etc., they've all been in the grind. But they have a component that most people don't know about. And it's a spiritual legacy. It's an alignment within them, and we touched on this earlier, that drives you forward. You mentioned earlier about, in part one, about the vision board and making the dream and the components for that. All these things connecting, but you have a bigger vision for yourself, for your family, but you also have to align your values with it. In your world, how do your values and your belief system inspire not just yourself, but other people? And how do they drive and rule your life or bring your authentic self forward?
So it's funny because I actually just did Date with Destiny. So I've done all of
Okay.
Tony Robbins' work, but that was the last one I hadn't done. And everybody kept telling me it was the one. They weren't wrong. I'm like, oh my
I
God,
know.
everybody
Yeah.
go do this and go through the values. And so for me, my number one is love. It all comes down to love. And I believe to my core, and I don't know where this comes from. I didn't read it. It's just something inside of me that I believe that every single person on this planet has a purpose to be here. And how do you find your purpose? It is that nagging question that is inside of us that we constantly ask quietly: when or who is like, when is somebody going to do something about that? And I believe that that question that you ask over and over, when is somebody going to do something about that? Because you're the person. It's you. Like when I kept asking, when is somebody going to do something about all these adoptable children in the foster care system? Seriously, come on. We have like billions of dollars being poured into this. The government's involved, all these people. Like when? Oh, wait, it was me. Little me, right? Like, I'm nothing special, nothing like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just a woman. I'm just a woman who was born in Canada, came to the United States, did all the things. Again, there's nothing like inherently magical about me, except for the fact was, to the core of my being, that nagging keeps me awake at night. So it must be me that that is my purpose. And I believe everybody has a nagging question like that. And if we told ourselves the truth about it and then actually got the courage to do something about it, now what would our world look like? But how many people have the courage to get quiet enough to hear the question? And then two, do something about it. And I don't have all the pieces figured out. And I had a call this morning with somebody else, and we're figuring the pieces out because I don't know the how. I just know the what. And I know, with 2.1 million families looking to adopt, there's more than 350,000 congregations in this country. If each church found one family to adopt one child, we could get this done in my lifetime. And I also know, that those children out there that are praying for families to love them because it isn't their fault that they're in this situation. That what if 1%, just 1% of those kids, that'd be 3,500 kids that grow up and are inspired just because they have a family that love them, they decide to go make a difference in the world. I believe that to the core of my being.
I love what you're saying here. And again, if the people who can't see the video, I've got a stupid little grin in my face that I look like a 5-year-old going to a sweet store. Why I have that is because the passion that Catherine has. It's the belief beyond the belief. It's an internal knowing. It's a compass pointing to the true north. And if there's a friend of mine, I know a few people, that says, why not me?
Mm.
Why not me? And to Catherine's point, what if you're asking, why not? And you have a bigger burning question, you know the answer to this. Catherine's discovering it. She's discovered portions of it and layers to it, but there's always a bigger why. Love is a component. The driving force is so many components. But the spiritual side of it, and that spiritualism, let me just define that, isn't just a woo-woo thing. It's an energy that's driving every single human being on earth. I have a concept called a million dreams. And it's not my a million dreams, it's yours. It's about you providing for other people your deepest, darkest desires. That's what that platform is going to do. But it takes bold action to create it. It takes courage, resilience, and learning. And also, to Catherine's point earlier, collaboration. The collaboration part is through podcasts, through conversations, through empathy and understanding. If you were to do it all over again, Catherine, and you had to transform, would it be anything you would do differently? And if so, why?
I would have trusted myself sooner and dove in sooner.
And that is an honest answer. And I know that because the amount of time you actually took to pause and think about what you were going to say. If you weren't just thinking, you were feeling how to present that answer. What would be the advice you would give to someone going through a challenging time right now?
To ask the question, who has already been through this, and reach out and have an honest conversation with them.
And if someone wanted to reach out to you, Catherine, and they're hearing this, how would be the best way to do that?
So here's what I love. You can actually have a conversation with me 24/7. Doesn't matter what time of the day or night. Go to catherinebell.ai and I am there. And she's my clone and she literally answers everything. It's like all of my knowledge and wisdom is there. And all of my friends, family, everybody's having mind-blowing conversations. And there you go. You can have a conversation with her.
I love that. I love it. And someone wants to call you or get hold of your website, book. Obviously, the books are going to be underneath. Please go and check them out and have a conversation. Where else could they get hold of you?
I'm all over social media. I'm
Awesome.
everywhere. Yeah, my website, Titan Impact Group. But yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm pretty accessible.
Well, so I know you've got the books coming up. What's the next game for you? What's the next stage? What's the next level? What's the next Catherine Bell level?
It's continuing to, we have our debt validation fund. So we're raising the $50 million for helping these 33,000 families. And so it's for accredited investors only. If you want to learn about more about that, let me know. It's pretty extraordinary to be able to do good and do well at the same time. So I'm excited about that. That's a really big thing. And then of course the books, and then of course, the nonprofit in anybody that wants to be involved, either volunteer or donate or anything to be a part of this mission of getting these 350,000 children adopted. And it's not just adopting. Obviously, we're having to, raise the money from donations so that we can pour that into all the nonprofit adoption agencies that are facilitating all of this. But you can become a CASA member. You can become a volunteer to help these families, have some reprieve from the kids. And like, there's just so many different ways that people can actually help. So if you're interested, let me know and I can show you all the ways that you can be a part of the solution. Because again, no child ever needs to experience Black Trash Bag Day ever.
Yeah, I love that. And for those people who are skeptical, come and have a conversation with me. I'm fairly accessible as well. And if have a conversation with me, I'll connect you with Catherine very, very happily. For myself, Catherine, you're awesome. Thank you very much for joining me again.
Thank you.
I'm going to spread this message far and wide. For my listeners, thank you very much for tuning in, sharing the message and listening. Please download it, leave a little review, and I'm happy to receive it. And also I love feedback because feedback makes the world go round and it makes me do better. I want to answer the questions that you're asking. Burnout isn't just burnout. It's stealing your energy and it's stealing your brilliance, your purpose, and your legacy. Leadership is too important to let burnout win. So subscribe and join a movement, not just a podcast. The leaders are transforming burnout into brilliance, purpose, and generational impact. Ladies and gentlemen, your rise starts today. Thank you very much for another episode of Rise from the Ashes podcast. And thank you very much, Catherine, for joining me once again here.
Yeah.
Much love, blessings, and have an amazing day on purpose. Speak soon.
Love it.